Following the recent presidential debate, we have seen Biden completely collapse in polling as we're starting to finally get some information following the debate out of some of the swing states and as well national polling. And it's not looking good for Biden whatsoever. We see him completely collapsing, even in a new Democrat internal poll. We're going to get right into that. But before we do, comment below what you think will happen come November and subscribe if you are new. It's greatly appreciated. So, as I was saying, there is this new poll that's just come out. It's a leaked Democrat internal poll. If I remember correctly, it is from Open Labs. Now, this is huge. What this poll is showing us here in the states of North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Nebraska's 2nd District, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, Virginia, and New Mexico currently all show Biden in a negative margin in all of these states in recent polling. And again, this is a Democrat internal poll, not a Republican internal. It's not just some typical right wing pollster. This is a leaked Democrat internal, and this has to be setting off alarm bells for the campaign. Not that it wasn't already going off before. They've been completely abandoning states like Florida, and I would imagine states like Ohio, Iowa. Hell, they might even be giving up on Georgia and Arizona at this point. It's that bad. Now, if this is a sign of what's to come in November, this is the end. This is the absolute end of Biden's campaign. It's basically committed Hillary Clinton's suicide. There's no chance that this can recover if this is accurate. These polls are devastating. Now, again, if those polls are accurate, what we're going to see, as I said, is a massive landslide. And we can see right here, based on those polls, this is what the election map would look like. 333 for Trump, 205 for Biden. That is insane. That's showing Trump winning New Mexico, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Virginia, New Hampshire. That is massive. And again, Colorado, Minnesota, and Maine are all within striking distance in this polling. So those states are going to be very close as well. And on top of that, if you consider a recent polling out of New Jersey, hell, that state will be even closer. Now, this comes out just after I put out my 2024 prediction. And if you look back at that quickly, we can see that I got nearly the same result, minus Minnesota and Maine at large, which are the only two states that I predicted differently from how this poll seems to be shaping up in this election. Which, either way, it is still a landslide if Trump wins by either my prediction or just based on what that polling is telling us. That is devastating for Biden. That's basically the end of his political career altogether, and the campaign just stopped. I would think it's pretty safe to say that Biden's campaign is over, and I would imagine that you guys would agree. There's just no chance for Biden to recover from something like this. I know it's just one Dem internal poll, but that's still big. That's not like it's some right wing pollster that's crazy, all wrong, doesn't know what they're talking about, or just happens to overestimate Trump all the time. That's a Democrat internal pollster. I don't think enough people are going to understand that. Now, there's still lots of liberals who are like, oh, no, trust me, Biden did fantastic in that debate. Oh, he wasn't actually that bad. No, we don't need to do something about this. The campaign's fine. He performed well. Trump was lying the whole time, not Biden. Biden didn't say a single lie. Well, we know that was obviously not true. Like when he was claiming that he got the endorsement from the border security, which obviously that wasn't true. The point is, Biden just really has no path at this point. And if we look at the overall polling as well, not just that poll, you look at the general election polling on RCP's polling average, Trump's leading by 2.4 now. In nearly every poll, he's leading by massive margins, aside from one INI TIPP poll that has Biden up by 2, and a Reuters Ipsos that has it tied. Otherwise, the most recent CNN poll has Trump leading by 6, and the Harvard Harris has Trump leading by 4. These are consistent trends, and now I know polling's not always perfect, but Trump never led in 2020. He never led in 2016, at least not for any sustained period of time. Again, if you look at this day in history, July 2nd, 2020, Biden was leading by 9.3. He ended up winning by about 4.4. Hillary Clinton was leading by 4.5. She won by about 2 something, 2.6, I believe, if I remember correctly. This is just not the same as those 2 years. This is completely different. This is landslide territory, and there's nothing Biden can do to recover from it at this point. This has gotten so bad that in a recent CBS poll, CBS writes increasing numbers of voters don't think Biden should be running after the debate with Trump in their most recent CBS News poll. For months before the first debate, the nation's voters repeatedly expressed doubts over whether President Biden had the cognitive health enough to serve. Today, these doubts have grown even more, now at nearly three-quarters of the electorate, and now including many within his own party. And today, after the debate with former President Donald Trump, an increased number of voters, including many Democrats, don't think Mr. Biden should be running for president at all. Nearly half of his party doesn't think he should be the nominee. That's just insane. It's not just independents, it's not just Republicans, it's Democrats as well. All voters don't think he has the health and the mental faculties to serve as president. That is not something you want if you want to be able to win the presidency. If 72% of registered voters are saying you are not cognitively fit to be president, you're not going to win the election. There's just no way around it. You are screwed. Biden is completely done on arrival. There's no chance he can win it at this point, and it's just going to keep getting worse, especially if the second debate does go off, because it'll look even worse. It's just going to keep getting worse for him. Again, 72% of registered voters, up from 65, think he cannot be mentally, cognitively healthy to serve as president. That is insane, and I would say probably record breaking. Now, 27% still think he does have the cognitive health to serve. I don't know who that 27% is. They're probably the dumbest people alive. They're just some partisan Democrat hacks who don't actually care about something like that. They're just worried about ideology and forcing their garbage policy on people. They think we are stupid. They're the crowd that are saying, "Oh, all of these clips of Biden, they're the cheap fakes." You know, you're just an idiot. Screw you. Biden's amazing. Those are the people who are still saying he's cognitively fit. They're in complete denial. They know he isn't. They just really want to keep pushing him. And why, I really don't fully know at this point. Now, ultimately, what does this mean? Well, it means that I think Biden's campaign is completely screwed. He's just done. There's nothing they can realistically do to get that corpse of a man over the line at this point. They basically are forced to replace him, but the problem is that's not going to work either. It's going to look weak replacing him, and on top of that, who do you replace him with? Their bench is awful. What, you got Big Mike, some people have floated? Yeah, sure, she's going to do so well. Or what, Kamala Harris? Because she's likable. Or what, Pete Buttigieg? Like, Gavin Newsom? These people don't hold up. They're not going to be able to pull off a victory for the Democrats. It's done. This election is basically handed to Trump. Now, I'm not saying you need to get complacent. This is still an important thing. This is the most important election of our lifetime. So you have to get out and vote. Do not get complacent. Make sure you vote red down ballot, not just for Trump, down ballot. We need to win the Senate and the House if we want Trump's presidency to be effective. Now, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video. Again, let me know what you think about Biden's cognitive decline in the comments and what you think about his potential for the election coming up this November. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.